Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad Daine. Prahlad Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatanka nakhalaye. Shilatanka nakhalaye. Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha. Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha. Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha. Bahe Narasimha, Hridaye Narasimha. Bahe Narasimha, Hridaye Narasimha. Bahe Narasimha, Hridaye Narasimha. Bahe Narasimha, Hridaye Narasimha. Narasimha Madhi Sharanam Prapade. Narasimha Madhi Sharanam Prapade. Tava kara-kamala-vare nakham. Adhuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipo tanu bringa. Keshavadrita narhari rupa. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare.
Kara-kamala-vare nakham adhuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipo tanu bringa. Keshavadrita narhari rupa. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare.
Jaya Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai jagadiśa hare.
Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa. Jai jagadiśa hare. Jai Jagadiśa Hare, Jai Jagadiśa Hare.
Jaya Vigna Vinasa Jaya Narasimhadeva, Vigna Vinasa Jaya Narasimhadeva.
Jaya Vigna Vinasa Jaya Narasimhadeva, Vigna Vinasa Jaya Narasimhadeva.
Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta De, Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta De.
Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta De, Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta De.
Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha, Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha. Jaya Jaya Gurudev Prabhupad, Gurudev Prabhupad.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Narasimha. Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhringa. This is the last part of the three-part presentation of the Narasimha Leela. So far, we have heard how Hiranyakashipu terrorized the universe. Then the son of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad, was a great devotee even in his tender age of childhood. And when Prahlad was sent to school, he did not really learn the lessons that his materialistic teachers were trying to impart to him. Instead, he instructed the classmates, and they all became devotees. So this enraged Hiranyakashipu, and then he decided that he is going to personally kill his own son, Prahlad. So Hiranyakashipu questioned Prahlad before he decided to cut off his head using a sword, sharp sword. So he asked, where is your supreme being? You say he's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? So Prahlad said, yes, he is everywhere. He is also within the pillar. So then Hiranyakashipu struck his fist against the pillar just to disprove Prahlad that there is no one within the pillar. So now the narration continues. Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful tumultuous sound which had never before been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. To prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. This form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. In amazement, Hiranyakashipu wondered, what is this creature that is half man and half lion? Hiranyakashipu studied the form of the Lord, trying to decide who the form of Narasimhadeva standing before him was. The Lord's form was extremely fearsome because of his angry eyes, which resembled molten gold, his shining mane, which expanded the dimensions of his fearful face, his deadly teeth, and his razor-sharp tongue, which moved about like a dueling sword. His ears were erect and motionless, and his nostrils and gaping mouth appeared like the caves of a mountain. His jaws parted fearfully, and his entire body touched the sky. His neck was very short and thick, his chest broad, his waist was thin, and the hairs on his body were as white as the rays of the moon. His arms, which resembled flanks of soldiers, spread in all directions. As he killed the demons, rogues, and atheists, with his conch shell, disc, club, lotus, and other natural weapons. Hiranyakashipu murmured to himself, Lord Vishnu, who possesses great mystic power, has made this plan to kill me. But what is the use of such an attempt? Who can fight with me? Thinking like this and taking up his club, Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord like an elephant attacks a lion. Just as a small insect falls forcefully into a fire and the insignificant creature becomes invisible, when Hiranyakashipu attempted to attack the Lord, who was full of effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible. Thereafter, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Narasimhadeva with his club and began to beat him. Lord Narasimhadeva, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just as Garuda might capture a great snake. When Lord Narasimhadeva gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods who had lost their abodes and who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon Hiranyakashipu, they did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were very much perturbed. Hiranyakashipu falsely thought that the Lord was afraid of his power. Therefore, after taking a little rest from the fight, he took up a sword and shield and again attacked the Lord with great force, making a loud, shrill sound of laughter. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is extremely strong and powerful, captured Hiranyakashipu, who was protecting himself with a sword and shield, leaving no gaps open. With the speed of a hawk, Hiranyakashipu moved, sometimes in the sky and sometimes on the earth, his eyes closed because of fear of Narasimhadeva's laughter. As Garuda captures a very venomous snake, Lord Narasimhadeva captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here and there, very much afflicted at being captured, Lord Narasimhadeva placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs. And in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. Lord Narasimhadeva's mouth and mane were sprinkled with drops of blood, and his fierce eyes, full of anger, were impossible to look at. Licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narasimhadeva, decorated with a garland of intestines taken from Hiranyakashipu's abdomen, resembled a lion that had just killed an elephant. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had many, many arms, first uprooted Hiranyakashipu's heart and then threw him aside and turned toward the demon's soldiers. These soldiers had come in thousands to fight with the Supreme Lord with raised weapons and were very faithful followers of Hiranyakashipu. But Lord Narasimhadeva killed all of them merely with the ends of his nails. Manifesting a full effulgence and a fearsome countenance, Lord Narasimha, being very angry and finding no contestant to face his power and opulence, then sat down in the assembly hall on the excellent throne of the king. Because of fear and obedience, no one could come forward to serve the Lord directly. Hiranyakashipu had been exactly like a fever of meningitis in the head of the three worlds. Thus, when the wives of the demigods in the heavenly planets saw that the great demon had been killed by the personal hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, their faces blossomed in great joy. The wives of the demons again and again showered flowers from heaven upon the Lord Narasimhadeva like rain. At that time, the airplanes of the demigods who desired to see the activities of the Supreme Lord Narayana crowded the sky. The demigods began to beat drums and kettle drums, and upon hearing them, the Apsaras began to dance, while the chiefs of the Gandharvas sang sweetly. The demigods then approached the Lord. They were headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and King Indra, and included great saintly persons and the residents of Pitraloka, Siddhaloka, Vidyadharaloka, Nagaloka. The Manus approached the Supreme Lord, as did the Apsaras, the Gandharvas, the Charanas, the Yakshas, the Kinnaras, the Vetalas, the Kimpurushas, and the personal servants of Vishnu like Sunanda and Kumuda. All of them came near the Lord, who glowed with intense light. They individually offered their obeisances and prayers, their hands folded at their heads. Sri Brahmovacha Natosmyanantaya Duranta Shaktaye Vichitra Viryaya Pavitra Karmane Vishwasya Sargasthiti Samyaman Gunaihi Swalilaya Sandadhate Avyayatmane. Lord Brahma prayed, "My Lord, you are unlimited and you possess unending potencies. No one can estimate or calculate your prowess and wonderful influence, for your actions are never polluted by the material energy. Through the material qualities, you easily create the universe, maintain it, and again annihilate it. Yet you remain the same without deterioration. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you." Lord Shiva prayed, "The end of the millennium is the time for your anger. Now that this insignificant demon Hiranyakashipu has been killed, O my Lord, who are naturally affectionate to your devotee, kindly protect his son Prahlad Maharaj, who is standing nearby as your fully surrendered devotee." King Indra prayed, O Supreme Lord, you are our deliverer and protector. Our shares of sacrifices, which are actually yours, have been recovered from the demon by you. Because the demoniac king Hiranyakashipu was most fearsome, our hearts, which are permanent abode, which are your permanent abode, were all overtaken by him. Now by your presence, the gloom and darkness in our hearts have been dissipated. O Lord, for those who always engage in your service, which is more exalted than liberation, all material opulence is insignificant. They do not even care for liberation, not to speak of the benefits of dharma, artha, kama. In this material world, there are two kinds of people: the devatas or the demigods and the asuras or the demons. Although the demigods are attached to material enjoyment, they are devotees of the Lord who act according to the rules and regulations of the Vedic injunctions. During the reign of Hiranyakashipu, everyone was disturbed in the routine duties of Vedic civilization. When Hiranyakashipu was killed, all the demigods who had always been disturbed by Hiranyakashipu felt relief in their general way of life. The inhabitants of Pitraloka prayed, "Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimhadeva, the maintainer of the religious principles of the universe. He has killed Hiranyakashipu, the demon, who by force enjoyed all the offerings of the Shraddha ceremonies performed by our sons and grandsons on the anniversaries of our death, and who drank the water with sesame seeds offered in holy places of pilgrimage. By killing this demon, O Lord, you have taken back all the stolen property from his abdomen by piercing it with your nails. We therefore wish to offer our respectful obeisances unto you." The Prajapatis offered their prayers as follows: "O Supreme Lord, Lord of even Brahma and Shiva, we the Prajapatis were created by you to execute your orders, but we were forbidden by Hiranyakashipu to create any more good progeny. Now the demon is lying dead before us, his chest pierced by you. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, whose incarnation in this form of pure goodness is meant for the welfare of the entire universe." In this way, all the other demigods also offered their prayers to Lord Narasimha. The Lord, however, did not give up his anger. Srila Prabhupada explains that anger has its proper use for the Supreme Lord and his devotee. A devotee of the Lord cannot tolerate blasphemy of the Lord or his other devotees. And the Lord also cannot tolerate blasphemy of a devotee. Thus, Lord Narasimhadeva was so very angry that the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva and even the goddess of fortune, who is the Lord's constant companion, could not pacify him even after offering prayers and glorification and praise. The demigods headed by Brahma, Shiva and other great demigods dared not come forward before the Lord, who at that time was extremely angry. Even the goddess of fortune, who had never seen such a wonderful and extraordinary form of the Lord, did not go forward before Lord Narasimha. Thereafter, Lord Brahma requested Prahlad Maharaj, who was standing very near the Lord, "My dear son, Lord Narasimhadeva is extremely angry at your demoniac father. Please go forward and appease the Lord." Although the exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj was only a little boy, he accepted Lord Brahma's words. He gradually proceeded toward Lord Narasimhadeva and fell down to offer his respectful obeisances with folded hands. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes this particular scene. It's a very touching description. When Lord Narasimhadeva saw the small boy Prahlad Maharaj prostrated at his lotus feet, he became most ecstatic in affection toward his devotee. Raising Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord placed his lotus hand upon the boy's head. Because his hand is always ready to create fearlessness in all of his devotees. So Srila Prabhupada explains, when Lord Narasimhadeva appeared, all the devotees became fearless. The devotee's hope of becoming fearless is to chant the holy name of Lord Narasimhadeva. Here is the instruction for all of us. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha. Wherever we go, we must always think of Lord Narasimhadeva. Thus there will be no fear for the devotee of the Supreme Lord. The description continues. By the touch of Lord Narasimhadeva's hand on Prahlad Maharaj's head, Prahlad was completely freed of all material contaminations and desires, as if he had been thoroughly cleansed. Therefore, he at once became transcendently situated, and all the symptoms of ecstasy became manifest in his body. His heart filled with love and his eyes filled with tears. He was able to completely capture the lotus feet of the Lord within the core of his heart. Prahlad Maharaj fixed his mind and sight upon Lord Narasimhadeva with full attention in complete trance. With a fixed mind, he began to offer prayers in love with a faltering voice. These are all symptoms of ecstasy being naturally expressed by Prahlad. So the prayers actually, many prayers he offered by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Narasimha, wonderful prayers. Few of them I will try to narrate here. Sri Prahlada Uvacha Brahmadayas Suragana Munayotha Siddha Satvaikatana Gatayo Vachasam Pravahaihi Naradhitum Purugunair Adhuna Pipipruhu Kim Toshtumarhati Same Harirugrajate. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to the Supreme Lord. How is it possible for me, who have been born in a family of asuras, to offer suitable prayers to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Even until now, all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and all the saintly persons could not satisfy the Lord by streams of excellent words, although such persons are very qualified, being in the mode of goodness. Then what is to be said of me? I am not at all qualified. Even though Prahlad is the best devotee, he is situated in ecstasy of devotion, and he is the fittest person to offer prayers to the Lord. But still, natural humility of a devotee is being expressed in these prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. He says, I am most unqualified because I am born in an Asura family, whereas those in the mode of goodness, they are trying to pacify the Lord by stream of excellent words, but they are unable to do so. So how can I offer prayers for pacifying the Lord? Because Brahma requested, please go and try to pacify the Lord. But still, Prahlad Maharaj is offering very nice prayers. He says further, one may possess wealth, an aristocratic family, beauty, austerity, education, sensory expertise, luster, influence, physical strength, diligence, intelligence, and mystic yogic power. But I think that even by all these qualifications, one cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, one can satisfy the Lord simply by devotional service. Gajendra did this, and thus the Lord was satisfied with him. He continues his prayers. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narad Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? The prayers continue. My Lord, O unlimited reservoir of transcendental qualities, you have killed my father Hiranyakashipu and saved me from his sword. He had said very angrily, if there is any supreme controller other than me, let him save you. I shall now sever your head from your body. Therefore, I think that both in saving me and in killing him, you have acted just to prove true the words of your devotee. There is no other cause. The Supreme Lord simultaneously proved to Hiranyakashipu that the Lord is within the pillar. He is everywhere, he is within the pillar also. And Hiranyakashipu challenged Prahlad, let me see who will protect you. The Lord surely came out of the pillar and saved Prahlad and actually killed Hiranyakashipu. So Prahlad is telling the Lord has acted wonderfully because saving the devotee is the Lord's promise. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. By killing the demons, the Lord is doing a favor to the demons. How is it a favor? Because the demon keeps on performing so many sinful activities and is accumulating so many sinful reactions. So for all these sinful reactions, he will suffer in hell for many years. But the Lord, simply by killing this demon, is purifying the demon of all sinful reactions and is also delivering the demon out of this material existence. He awards the liberation to whoever he kills. So killing is not killing, killing is deliverance. So many times if you see the title of a chapter in this Krishna book, particularly, deliverance of the demon Aghasura. Prabhupada does not write killing of the demon Aghasura. Because, of course, killing by the Supreme Lord is actually deliverance. What happens to that soul? You should always remember every living being is the soul, not the body. So, that soul is delivered, is purified of all reactions, and just because of the touch of the Lord, and is also liberated from material existence. So Prahlad offers wonderful prayers, and he says, my dear Lord Narasimhadeva, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, Mauna Vrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, no one can be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. In this way, Prahlad Maharaj offered wonderful prayers to Lord Narasimha. Thus, Lord Narasimhadeva was pacified by the devotee Prahlad Maharaj with prayers offered from the transcendental platform. The Lord gave up his anger and, being very kind to Prahlad, who was offering prostrated obeisances, he spoke as follows. My dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all living beings, and therefore you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled. So the Lord is offering Prahlad Maharaj a benediction. So what did Prahlad say? Prahlad said, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Again, Prahlad is taking a humble position. He is actually the best of devotees. So he cannot be attached to material enjoyment, but he is taking a humble position. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Then Prahlad says, O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desire. Now this prayer by Prahlad to Lord Narasimha, asking for the best benediction, the topmost benediction, that is indicative of Prahlad's devotion to the Lord, his position as a devotee. He's asking that within the core of my heart, let there be no material desires. If at all you want to give me a benediction. Such a benediction is desirable by all devotees who have made their goal of life going back to Godhead. We can go back to Godhead if we purify our heart of all material desires. Then we are guaranteed to attain the highest benediction of Sam Siddhim Paramam Gataha, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Prahlad, a devotee like you never desires any kind of material opulences either in this life or in the next. Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demons in this material world, acting as their king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu. It does not matter that you are in the material world. You should always continuously hear the instructions and messages given by me and always be absorbed in thought of me, for I am the super soul existing in the core of everyone's heart. Therefore, give up fruitive activities and worship me. My dear Prahlad, while you are in this material world, you will exhaust all the reactions of pious activity by feeling happiness, and by acting piously, you will neutralize impious activity. So, while Prahlad is in this material world acting as the king of the demons, so that because Prahlad had said, I don't want to be liberated alone. I want to bring with me all these poor fellows who are completely lost in this material world under the grip of the illusory energy, running after false happiness. So I want to bring them and make them take shelter of your lotus feet. He's telling Narasimhadeva. Because of the powerful time factor, Lord is telling Narasimhadeva is telling Prahlad, you will give up your body, but the glories of your activities will be sung in the upper planetary systems, and being fully freed from all bondage, you will return home, back to Godhead. So the Lord is assuring that after Prahlad quits the present body, he will return home back to Godhead. That's his destination. But before that, Prahlad will preach and make devotees. Whoever comes in contact with a pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj will definitely become themselves good devotees. They'll be able to take shelter of this lotus feet of Lord Narasimha because of Prahlad's mercy. Mahat sevam dwaram ahur vimukte. In the Bhagavatam, it is said that by serving great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, the doors of liberation are opened. So I'll stop here. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. If you found this video interesting, do like it and share it with your loved ones. For more uplifting spiritual content, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon.